There we are. How are you doing, everyone? It's nice to be here. It's number 192. I always start with the number, don't I? Numbers aren't important, Dave. But it's nice to know that we've been practicing with each other for such a long time. It's been like 4 years, I think. 2021, what is it, 2025? Time flies by, people. Time flies by. So if you've been joining me for that amount of time, then a wholehearted congratulations for making it this far with me. And if you're new, then a wholehearted welcome. Stick with it. Stick with it, I would say, if you're new, because sometimes it takes a bit of time to sort of integrate this stuff. You'd be like, what did we do? I don't know. This bloke, he talked a lot. We lay around. We breathed a little bit. I'm not sure about this yoga thing. So if you are a little bit skeptical about yoga, then I'll ask you to leave all of your judgments at the door, that door, back there, and kind of come with it with a fresh mind, right? Beginner's mind. That's what the Zen Buddhists talk about, don't they? Beginner's mind. We kind of empty our mind of all of our preconceptions and all of our conditioning. And we go at something where we're like, okay, I'll just be curious. Hard to do that though, right? To clear this thing, because there's a lot in there, isn't there? So if you're new to yoga, you probably think, oh, I've seen yoga and you need to be super flexible and you need to be strong and you need to be beautiful and young and you need to do it on a mountaintop or by a beach or have the right clothes. Nope, you don't need any of that stuff. In fact, that stuff drives me crazy because, you know, yoga is clumsily kind of shoehorned into the wellness space, and wellness and fitness is a multi-billion-pound industry, right? And so what those industries do, I don't want to rant too much here. I'm not ranting, I'm just talking. What those industries do is they prey on our insecurities, right? So they tell you you're not enough, and if you only ate this, or if you moved in this way, or if you had this bit of kit, or if you went to this beautiful gym or fantastic yoga studio, everything's going to be fine in your life. And what it is, it's out of reach for a lot of people. So the virtual village hall is amazing because it's free, right? If you want to give them a little bit of money and donate to the Royal Voluntary Service, go for it. You can do that. But this is free content and it's amazing. They're such a great organization. So you can just show up. You don't need any of that stuff, right? What have I got on? I've got a t-shirt on and I've got a pair of shorts and that's it. And I'm in my flat because I'm lucky enough to own my own flat. And here I am. So we're making this practice accessible to more and more people. But if we think about yoga, we usually see very glamorous, generally fair-skinned women practicing yoga. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's just that's kind of what's sold. But if it was laid by other types of people practicing yoga, you know, and generally it's not. And I think the industry is getting better, but right now there's a long way for it to go. So we think about, in the yoga organization that I'm part of, Space to Breathe in Leicester, we're a not-for-profit, and we're always talking about economic justice, of making our classes as cheap as possible so people can actually come along and benefit from wellness. You know, wellness, yoga, it shouldn't be for the domain of just the privilege, right? It should be for the domain of everybody. Everyone has a right to look after their own health, and that's the money. It shouldn't be a barrier to that. Sure, you know, sometimes we have to pay because we have to pay our rent and we have to pay teachers and we have to do all this stuff, right? But generally speaking, money shouldn't be a barrier, right? So we try and make things as cheap as possible. Virtual Village Hall, they make it free. How good is that? All right. So there's your preconceptions gone. A little bit about yoga. If you're not flexible, it doesn't matter, nor am I. If you're not strong, it doesn't matter, nor am I. Right? If you don't have a super, you know, disciplined yoga practice, meditation practice, don't worry, nor do I. But I'm curious and I kind of like to kind of move my body in a way where what I'm generally doing is I'm calming the mind. Okay. We are going to start in a moment, but this is just my preamble, which I haven't done for quite a long time. So what we're looking to do a lot of the time, we're just so jacked up, right, in life, and kind of our nervous systems are like, you know, we've got a lot of demands in life, right? Lots of demands. And then what generally happens is our nervous system start firing and we don't know how to relax. We just can't do it. We do this sort of thing. Oh, relax here. I get on Instagram. Oh, I feel bad about myself. This is me, by the way. I do it. What I need to do is actually I need to get onto my mat and I need to breathe and I need to be still. Sometimes I want to move, but generally speaking, stillness is the key to it all. All right. So that's how we're going to start today. We're going to start lying down. Now, if you can't get on the floor, you might have seen that I do chair yoga with the Virtual Village Hall as well. I'll be back next week. And you can sit in a chair because it's an amazing to sit in a chair, right? All the postures we can do on a yoga mat, we can just do those on a chair. So if it's your first time and you think, I'm not going to go and lie down there because it's really hard for me to get down and get back up, that's absolutely cool. It's not a problem, right? So we're making this as accessible as possible. Come to sit in a chair and find a comfortable position, like proper relaxed. Maybe bring a blanket over your body. I'm going to go and lie back there, and I'm going to show you the position that we're going to lie in. And then I'm going to read from this lovely book called Insights from this amazing yoga teacher called Bernie Clark. And we're going to do a little body scan. All right. So let's go back there. I was sat on this lovely bolster, by the way. Very nice. So you can always bring a bolster. If you have a bolster, you can bring a bolster with you. You can place it underneath your knees. You see on the blanket here, I've got a mat. On the mat, I've got a blanket. That's what I meant to say. So you can place a blanket underneath your body, whatever feels good. This is nice, right? If you've got a bolster or a cushion or a pillow or two, you can place it underneath your knees. You let your feet fall open. And then you can just come to lie down. But remember, don't feel like this is a prerequisite. You can also do this on a chair. It's exactly the same. And then just spend a little bit of time to settle. You know, how often do you give yourself this opportunity just to be still? Now, there might still be some little bits of energy in the body where you want to wriggle and move and make sure you feel comfortable. What I would suggest here is that you make yourself as comfortable as you can be. Any little final movements. And then if it feels okay, see if you can drop into a deep stillness. Probably the stillest you've been today. And when we do this, we send all the right signals to the body and the brain. We begin to calm. And then I'm going to stay quiet for, about a minute. And just notice what you notice in this minute. And then from here, take another 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. If you can, inhale through the nose, exhale through your nose. And notice how your breath feels. Yoga is a feeling practice. We don't really care about what it looks like. It's not that important because all of our bodies are very different. So when we begin to compare ourselves with other people, it's a bit pointless really because, we're all built in very different ways and we've all lived in our bodies in different ways. So that comparison doesn't really work. It might be that you send the breath to certain parts of the body, maybe your lower spine, your hips. Maybe you feel a little tension through your jaw and your shoulders. And what I'd like you to do is remain exactly where you are. I'm going to move because I'm going to read a little script that will hopefully allow you to relax a little deeper. Now, if you need to bring a little bit more warmth into your practice, then go for it. You know, it's a nice day today in the Midlands, but it's a little chilly. So make sure you're warm enough. I'll just put my radiator on for a little bit. And if you've moved around a little bit here, then see if you can resettle. And relax completely, you know, let all of the tension leave your body. And then what I'd like you to do is just scan your body slowly. And you start with your toes and your feet. And then that idea of just allowing your feet to relax, your toes to relax. You know, that idea of feeling your feet becoming heavy on the floor. And you allow your awareness to rise up to your ankles and your calves and your shins. And that idea, you feel them melting into the earth. You know, there's no effort needed. And then feel the space in your knee joints. And then move slowly higher. And then relax your thighs. And feel them becoming heavy and warm and soft. And then notice your buttocks and your hips and your groin relaxing. And they too become soft and warm. And then linger a little while in the hips. You know, the hips can be areas that we hold a lot of tension, sometimes pain in. Maybe you feel, you know, a little bit of tightness. Maybe there's openness. Maybe you feel the subtle flow of the energy through your hips. And now allow your awareness to come to your tailbone, right at the bottom of your spine. And you feel your sacrum and your lower back release into the floor. And feel your lower back and stomach muscles relax. Now send the breath into those areas. And then allow this sensation to rise up the spine. And I like to do this. Think about each of your vertebrae and maybe the space between them. And maybe think about the alignment of your vertebra, your alignment of your spine. And then on your next exhale, see if you can allow your upper back muscles and shoulder blades to sink a little deeper into the floor. Remember, if you are in a chair, the same principle remains the same with the body scan. And then let your shoulders release completely. You know, it's an area where we can carry a lot of tension in our shoulders around the jaw. Let the shoulders relax one more time. And then maybe spend an extra moment here and see if you can really soften the shoulder blades down into your mat. And then you might feel the weight of your shoulders sink into the air. And you allow this sensation of softness to flow down your arms. And see if you can relax your upper arms, your elbows, and then your forearms. And feel the space in your wrist joints. Feel the space around each finger. And maybe, I'm grinning here, but some people can feel it, right? The energy in the palm of each hand. If I really look at my hand, probably you don't want to look at it, but I can think about energy in that area. And then bring your awareness to your neck and your throat and release all the tension here. You might even open the mouth a little and then close the mouth. See if you can relax your jaw. Again, we hold a lot of tension in the jaw. Maybe relax your lips and your tongue and your cheeks and the eyes and all the muscles around the eyes. So get into the more subtle parts of the body. Deep in your eye sockets. Relax your forehead, your scalp. And allow the back of your head to rest heavily on the floor. Or if you're on a chair, Allow your head to balance perfectly on top of your neck, so not too far forward, not too far back. And then see if you can do this. I always find it a little odd, but see if you can relax your inner organs. Bring your awareness to your reproductive organs and either feel or imagine them relaxing. And if you have one, relax your prostate, and then relax your intestines and your kidneys, and imagine your liver and your stomach and your spleen being filled with healing energies. And then soften your diaphragm. It's part of the body. When we breathe in and breathe out, it kind of moves up and down. Your lungs. Think of your lungs. Think about your back body as you lie down and you sit in a chair, and breathe very deeply into your back. And as you do that, see if you can relax your heart, the front of your body. Lots of room to breathe into here. And let your heart become open and vast. And it says here, undefended and smiling. Like that, right? A smiling heart. Then see if you can release your breath totally. Let it be whatever it wants to be. And you just notice your breath, and you become aware of the short pauses between each breath. And then back to the stuff I was talking about at the start. See if you can relax your mind. Notice that the moment between each breath is the moment between thoughts. And see if you can enjoy those moments of complete silence and peace. And maybe you feel this sense of peace growing deeper. And let this feeling of peace, you can let it fill you, and then fill the space around you, and let the peace fill the room and beyond. And it's touching everyone and everything. So we'll come back to that minute again or so that we did before we did that little guided meditation, guided body scan. And maybe you just check in at the start, see how you feel. And then just relax for the next minute or so. And then again, just those final couple of rounds of breath. Feel free to, this time, maybe exhale through the mouth. You imagine just sighing out any tension that you're still holding in your body. And then from here, what I'd like to do, if your legs are long, then just begin to bend into your knees. Place anything off that you're not using to one side. Maybe hug your knees in towards your belly, and maybe just rock around a little. And then place the soles of the feet down on your mat. Go quite wide, and then bring your arms out in line with your shoulders. So nice and relaxed here. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, soften your lower spine down into the floor, and then allow your knees to fall open towards the right-hand side. Don't feel like you need to kind of force this, kind of be nice and gentle. It's just some really gentle movements today. you probably feel quite relaxed because we haven't really moved a lot, but we've brought quite a lot of awareness to the body. So notice those sort of changes in your practice today. Take an inhale and bring the knees all the way back to center. And then as you exhale, drop the knees to the opposite side. So mine are going over to the left. Now they've just quite luckily landed, my outer left knee has just landed on the bolster I was using. And it's nice. It's just supporting the leg out. You always feel free to kind of prop underneath the thighs, the knees, the legs, the shoulders, the back. I always think it's nice to have blankets and cushions and bolsters as you practice. We kind of making our practice as comfortable as possible is really important, that we don't kind of strive and struggle in our yoga practice. When you're ready, inhale, bring the knees all the way back to center, then just hug them in. Nice. And then we're going to stay on our backs. Let's see how long we can stay here for today. But bring the legs down your mat. And then bring your arms up into the air. Notice how your arms feel, your shoulders to your fingertips. So it might be that you're just pointing the fingers up towards the sky. Back of the neck is nice and long. And you kind of feel the shoulder blades here relaxing into the earth. Then on an exhale, see if you can drop the arms behind the head. Now, if there's too much tension in the arms and shoulders, widen the arms loads, or bring something underneath the arms so they don't feel like there's too much tension there. Notice how this feels. We're in a new position, right? So you're lengthening maybe a little bit. I'm lucky I've got this kind of like concrete floor. Actually, it's micro cement, everybody. So I'm just like sliding my fingertips along my micro cement floor, and then I can feel my legs lengthening on my yoga mat. And then banana pose is where you bring the feet to the bottom left corner of your mat. So you see what I've just done there. The feet went to the bottom left corner. Then see if you can bring your torso to the top left corner. So you create like a banana shape or a half moon shape. And this is probably way enough for you. Now think about this right shoulder, make sure it's relaxed down into the earth. If it's not, do this and make the arms nice and wide and bend into the elbows. Now, if you want to go a little deeper, remember it's not always about the deepness of the pose. You can lift up through your right foot, cross it over your left ankle. For me, that's much deeper in the outer right hip. And then the final thing you can do is just hold on to the right wrist with your left hand, making sure the right shoulder's relaxed, but you draw the arms over towards the left a little more. Breathe it out here, just a few rounds of breath. Create your, perfect half moon shape for you today. Watch your breath. I love this pose because I can breathe from my toes to my fingertips. And then when you're ready, slowly come all the way back to center. And then we'll swap that out to the other side. So you can unravel, maybe have a little move. In fact, let's all do this. Let's bend our knees back in towards our chest. And squeeze the knees in and let your lower spine release. And then lengthen the legs down your mat again. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Linger here for a couple of breaths. Notice what it feels like for the arms to be long and the shoulders relaxed. Then drop the hands behind the head and adjust any way that feels good. Bring the feet to the bottom right. Bring the arms to the top right. And there's a little shuffle of my hips over towards the left. Left shoulder softens down. Notice the sensations. You can always lift up through the left foot and cross it over the right ankle this time. Maybe hold on to the left wrist with your right hand. You just draw the arms over just a little bit more. And then relax into this shape. Breathe. Maybe close the eyes or just soften your gaze and spend a few precious moments here. Nice and simple with the breath. If you can, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through your nose. Just breath flows in, breath flows out. Nothing too complicated here. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center, slowly unravel, bring the arms all the way back up, fingertips point towards the sky again, and then as you exhale, hug the knees in, hold around the knees or the shins or the backs of the thighs, and then this time maybe make the movements a little bigger. You can just rock a little side to side, that can feel quite nice. For me, if someone said to me in the yoga class, just come into this position, hold it for 5 to 10 minutes, I'd like that. There's something about the release through my spine and just find the movements that work for you. It doesn't always have to be about working super hard. You probably work super hard in different aspects of your life. So that's why yoga can be so many different things. And sometimes a practice like we're doing today is just what you need, just to calm everything down and reset. And then roll to one side and support your head out with your hand. Maybe keep your eyes closed, be in this little fetal position. And then when you're ready, press into your top hand and then come all the way up. And then we're going to come to a seated position. So I've got my trusty blanket, which I'm using today. I don't know why. Well, I do know why I would use a blanket, but I don't know. I'm just attached to it today. It's nice. And feel free to kind of use a blanket or a cushion or a pillow. If you're in a chair still, great. Okay. Legs are crossed. We don't feel great having the legs crossed. Remember, you can always have the legs out nice and long or find a position that works for you. Let's take an inhale just to sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, little simple twist. So to the right, left hand, right knee, right hand behind. Press into the fingertips on that right hand and then inhale just to find length in your spine and then exhale into your twist. So you're twisting towards the right. Deep inhales, full, releasing exhales. Couple more rounds of breath. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center, and then just swap that out to the other side. So right hand on the left knee, left hand comes behind. So just kind of bring the left hand behind the spine or maybe a little wider than that. Inhale to find length and then exhale into your twist. You probably really feel your breath flowing in and flowing out here. Couple more rounds of breath, just keeping the theme of this nice slow class today. Nice gentle moves. Inhale, come back to center. Beautiful. Bring the hands onto the knees. Start a little bit of Sufi grind. So just kind of think about your navel and then draw some circles we come to this one quite a lot. So I think it's a really nice movement to come into. Inhaling and exhaling as you go. And for me, with the eyes closed, it's nice, right? I really kind of feel into my practice. I know I'm not really going to go far here because I'm sat, I feel safe. And when I close my eyes, I can just draw my attention inwards just a little bit more. And I get to notice the more subtle parts of myself. Sometimes, not all the time, but it's one of my favorites. You might inhale and you come back to center. Take a full exhale and then just come back the other way. Inhale forward, exhale as you round. I don't know, maybe another 4 or 5 rotations. If you feel really tight in the spine, remember this one can be done with the spine nice and long. You don't have to bend into the elbows. And then inhale, come back to center. And take a full exhale. Now, if you wanted to, you can always uncross your legs. Remember which shin was in front. Drop your knees to either side. If you're in a chair, then you can adjust in your chair. And then we'll come back with the other shin in front if you're with me on the floor. And then we'll come into this area of the shoulders and the neck. All right. So I want us to do something nice and simple with the shoulders. You're going to inhale the shoulders up. You're going to exhale the shoulders down. All right. So that's one round. Inhale up, exhale down. And you might hear my breath. I inhale as the shoulders come up. I exhale as the shoulders come down. And I use quite an intentional breath. You can hear, I should say, the breath in my body. And as I exhale down, I'm kind of just losing control a little bit of my shoulders. I'm dropping my shoulder blades down my back. Stay nice and relaxed through your jaw. A few more times. Inhale the shoulders up. And exhale the shoulders down. Beautiful. Drop the chin down towards your sternum. Find the hands in a comfortable position. So mine kind of just drift off my knees a little bit. And then just rock your chin a little side to side. See how that feels. And then if you want to make the movements a little bigger, then maybe you just begin to draw some circles with your head. Inhale up, you might exhale as the chin falls down. And remember, I always say it, but if there's any areas of your neck that feel super tight, be very cautious, number one. But number two, maybe you just pause and linger there and just spend a breath or two in those tight spots. And if it feels okay, you might come back the other way. The neck might feel quite different side to side, so just be conscious of that. Oh, there's a big yawn. Oh, yawns are so good. Yawns show that you're relaxed and you're calm. I do feel like that now. So hopefully in some small way you feel a little better than when you did when you started. And then inhale the head back to center. Take a full exhale. All right. Bring your fingertips out, your arms nice and long, and press your fingertips down into your mat. And then what I'd like to do, if you were watching my chair yoga class on Tuesday, we were doing this kind of arm raising thing, right? So what I generally would do is I just bring my arms up and down like this, right? And then I read this really lovely instruction in a book which said what we do is we bring our arms up to shoulder height with the palms face down. We turn the palms and then we bring the hands up. And then as we come down, the palms are facing up. As we get to the shoulders, we turn the palms down and then we come down. And the idea here is that, we can really impinge our shoulders. We have problems with rotator cuffs in our shoulders as well. So, bringing the arms up and down in a safe way is super important. We're right near the end of the class, but let's just do that for a few rounds and let's see if we can get into a nice little flow. So root your fingertips down, inhale, bring the arms up. And then when they get here to the shoulders, flip the palms up, keep your inhale coming, exhale, flip them down at the shoulders and then come down. So you get the movement, inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. So you track the movement and breath. Inhale and exhale. You probably feel that in the shoulders. So keep the fingertips nice and wide again. Root them down and maybe just have a little root around. See how that feels. Lovely job. Really nice. So we're going to finish with a little bit of pranayama, a little bit of breath work, nice and gentle. So I'm going to come a little further forward towards you guys. If you want to get super comfortable, probably seated. You can do it in any position you want, to tell you the truth, but seated is probably nice. And we're going to do a nice calming breath just to kind of seal all this practice. I'm just reading the comments here. Let me just have a quick look. Jackie and I are in here. It's nice to have you along always, guys. And Maxine said, breathwork helps her climb the stairs. Oh, that's amazing. That's really, really great. That's great to hear, because, bringing that conscious breathing in, sometimes we just, habitually we're so disconnected to our breath, aren't we? And I think when we allow ourselves to breathe in this very conscious way, it kind of sustains us in lots of different activities, even when we're off the mat. So it's really nice to hear. Thank you for that comment. And hi to Margaret as well. All right. Okay. Let's do a little bit of box breathing, because again, Maxine, this one might really help you when you're thinking about stairs. So we did it either last week or the week before. So we inhale through the nose. We pause the breath at the top. Then we exhale through the nose. We pause the breath at the bottom, I should say. So think of it like a box. Inhale through your nose. Pause the breath. Exhale through your nose. Pause your breath. So that's how we're going to do it. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Lungs are full. Pause. Exhale. Lungs are empty. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Let's do one more. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. And then just let your breath come back to a nice, steady, gentle rhythm. And just spend a moment here just to check in with your practice, to notice what you're noticing. You know, the amazing work you've done today. The work you've probably done today is kind of seen as countercultural, right? Because we favor busyness and achieving. But you've achieved a lot there by slowing right down. Hopefully feeling a little calmer, a little more balanced, even if it's just for a few minutes. And then we can just keep coming back to these practices time and time again. A little bit of relaxation, a little bit of movement, a little bit of breath work. It's magic, right? Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Thanking yourself for showing up and getting onto your mat in the first place. Remember those two Sanskrit words, abhyasa and vairagya, or is it vairagya and abhyasa? And it just means steadiness of practice and releasing the outcome. Every time we get onto our mat, super important. That's where we get to see what can potentially unfold in our lives. With that in mind, a wholehearted bow. Wish yourself well. Wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. It's really nice to practice with you all today. Thank you for coming along. It feels like it's getting like spring. It's still chilly, right? But it's looking a lot brighter out there anyway. And next week we're in March. So thank you for all of your support in February. Well done for keeping your practice going. If you were new today, then a wholehearted welcome. Hopefully you got something from it. It's a little bit different today. We kept it a little bit more chill. Not that we ever go crazy. Next week I am back for chair yoga. I think it's the 4th. What is the 4th? Is that Tuesday next week? I don't know. I think it is. Let me just have a quick look. The 4th is, yes, Tuesday. And I've got a feeling it's at 3:30. But check the schedule. Chair yoga. We'll do some similar things. A lot of breath work. Some nice movements. Everything we can do on the floor, we can do in a chair. Chair yoga is magic. But if not, I'll see you back here 2:30 next Thursday, which is the 6th, right? All right, guys. It's really lovely to have you along. Look after yourselves. I'll see you all on the other side. I'm going to go now. Bye.